Cameras on. It would be good to see faces. I'll just give it half a minute. Be wonderful if I can see. Namaste, Kanchanji. Good to see you. Namaste, Rahulji.
Namaste, namaste, ma'am.
Be wonderful. Namaste, Harshaji. Hi, Pushpa. Hi, Kushbu. Hello, Preeti ji. Wonderful.
Hello, namaste.
Good evening, Dr. Rita. Excellent. Kushbu, you'll keep managing everybody who's coming there. That's wonderful. So, friends, today we are going to speak about breath. Every time we take one topic, and as we all together contemplate on that topic, basically our mind starts to just come to one thing. And then we can start going into meditation. And a meditation is not difficult at all. Many people struggle. But if our mind is usually scattered, right? And many times we just kind of try to go into an emptiness. And of course, we can't force that. So our job is to bring it to one thing. And from that one thing, as we just allow ourselves to not be too distracted, from that one thing, it can start going into emptiness. है ना? तो ये जो state है emptiness की, this is what is achieved. This is what starts to happen as we start meditating regularly. And this is what actually gives us all the benefit. Why? Because when we start going into that emptiness, we start knowing our true self, which is beyond this body. We start knowing that we are more than the body. We start knowing that we are more than these thoughts, more than the emotions. And also, what happens is when we are focusing on something, where our attention goes, that is where our energy flows. So if we are focusing on the problem, if we are too focused on this is how it is, I have to change it, we are struggling with it. We're giving more and more attention to it, more and more energy to it, and many times it is not so easy. We wonder why the same thing keeps happening. I'm trying to change it. But when we start going into meditation, we have started actually, we're not denying anything, but we start going into this state of emptiness automatically, because now we are not focused on that one thing. That matter is just
चुप रहा है ना वहां से ये
the energy that is there, that emptiness is 99.9%. So we start disconnecting from that 0.1% and we start connecting to the 99.9%. And that gives us the opportunity to start changing the reality. Automatically we are away from that, right? And when Buddha got enlightened, the easiest technique that he gave is anapanasati. He said, just watch the breath, the natural incoming breath and outgoing breath, right? Like I said, that our mind is usually in multiple places. I'm sure the last 2 minutes, as you're just hearing me, your mind has gone away somewhere already. It has gone to some future, past thought, and then it has come back. So, this is how our mind is. We can't change that, right? But we have to become the master of this mind, not let it become our master. And the breath is the easiest thing. Why? Because the breath is the bridge between the body mind. Actually, body mind is not two different things, it is one thing. They are connected, right? It is the bridge between our body mind and the soul. So, the more gross part in the body and the mind, the body is the most gross, mind is a little more subtle, and the further more subtle part, the soul. The bridge is the breath, right? So, like they said in the Bible, I'm going to just read this quote that, and God formed man from the dust of the earth and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. सो हम जो है हम माटी से बने हैं. वी आर मेड फ्रॉम द अर्थ एलिमेंट. What is it that brings life? What is it that when the consciousness came into it, what happened? This happened with the breath. So the breath is the bridge. The difference between us, this body dead and alive, is the breath, right? So the breath is the easiest way to connect. So as we continue speaking just a little bit, and then we will go into meditation, I want you right now to start bringing your attention to your breath. Just start noticing your breath right now. Just notice कि आपकी ब्रेथ कहाँ तक जा रही है. जब आप ब्रीथ कर रहे हो तो आपको कहाँ पे फील हो रहा है. Is your breath shallow? Is your breath deep? Are you feeling your breath? Do you feel the sensations here? जहाँ पे भी फील हो रहा है just उसके प्रति अवेयर हो जाओ. So when we are practicing meditation and mindfulness, right? We are actually the practices of awareness, which is a double-edged awareness. When your eyes are open and you're aware with me, when you're going to practice mindfulness with me, आपका mind कहीं जाएगा, आप mind वापस लेके आओगे. So you're practicing this mindfulness. You're practicing that, okay, I'm just going to be here. The other end, I said double-edged, you're going to also practice what's happening within you. So just be aware of the breath. जब हम ब्रेथ पे ध्यान देते हैं, हाउ मेनी ऑफ अस नोटिस कि हमारी ब्रेथ शैलो थी, कि बस थोड़ा सा ही पेट तक नहीं जा रही थी जब आपने ध्यान दिया. एंड मे बी वेन यू पेड अटेंशन देन मे बी यू स्टार्टेड ब्रीदिंग डीप. थैंक यू. एंड या खुशबू नोटिस दैट. दिविशा ऑल्सो नोटिस दैट. Yes, so this is what commonly happens, friends. If we see a child breathing, an infant, छोटा सा बच्चा, जब हम उसको देखते हैं, हमने सबने नोटिस किया होगा, बहुत स्ट्राइकिंग होता है कैसे वो बच्चा ब्रीथ कर रहा है. द belly is going up and down, right? The child breathes very deep. But what happens? Why does our breathing become shallow? Okay, so one aspect I said, of course, Buddha has said just to observe the breath. But the other aspect, when you see the path of Kriya Yoga and you see the rebirthing breath work and other breath works that have been channeled. तो Kriya Yoga 2-3 centuries पहले channeled है बाबा जी से. बट इन द 20th century जो channeled work आया बाबा जी से, महाअवतार बाबा जी से, that is rebirthing breath work. This is the breath work that is needed, which महाअवतार बाबा जी has given to us through Leonard Orr. और उसमें क्या उनको जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग आई, जो पूरी ये टेक्निक आई, actually what happened with Leonard Orr is that once he was in the bathtub and he just passed out in the bathtub. वो बहुत देर के लिए वहां पर रह गए. And what he realized was that he had just became in a way, he was in a very altered state and he had connected to his birth memories. तो bathtub में he then realized कि क्या हुआ कि पानी में जैसे हम हैं, just like when we are in the womb, we are surrounded by that warm water. He was in the warm water, and for a longer time when he was there, he started connecting to his birth memories. He felt much lighter after he came out of it. And then what he did is he continued this same thing. For a couple of times, he took a little extra time. And every time that he stayed there for much longer than it was comfortable, he realized that he was releasing, he was connecting to some aspect of his birthing time. What was happening to his mother, how he was coming out. Mind you, friends, the birthing process itself is very traumatic. है ना, जब हम तैयार होते हैं, we are being pushed. Initially, the cervix is not open, but so much of weight is there on the child. And that whole birthing process naturally also is a little traumatic. But then the way our medical system is, a lot of trauma is added to it. So every time, couple of times when he did that, he realized he released something, he felt much lighter. And then he shared it with some other people, they also tried it. And then as they all started kind of working with it, they realized कि जब लोग ये रिलीज करते थे तो एक पर्टिकुलर वे में ब्रीथ करने लगते थे. और इस पे काम करते करते दे रियलाइज कि ये ब्रेथ वर्क एक ये टेक्निक जो डेवलप हो गई कि अगर इस तरह से हम ब्रीथ करेंगे तो वी आर एबल टू रिलीज दैट. दे रियलाइज दैट actually when somebody is releasing, because हम इतने vulnerable हो जाते हैं, it's going to be nice that somebody is there with them. So they were always supporting each other. And then the breath work, this technique that was devised, was really formulated over 10 years, ये technique हुई. But the interesting thing is कि लेनर्ड और को एक जैसे अंदर लगा कि नहीं, मुझे इंडिया जाना है, मुझे जो ये मास्टर्स हैं, जो इमॉर्टल्स हैं, उनसे मिलना है. तो व्हेन ही केम टू इंडिया एंड ही मेट महाअवतार बाबा जी ने उनको दर्शन दिए. एंड द इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग इज, महाअवतार बाबा जी आस्क्ड हिम, लेनर्ड, हाउ हैव यू बीन लाइकिंग द टेक्निक दैट आई हैव बीन टीचिंग यू, द ब्रेथ टेक्निक दैट आई हैव बीन टीचिंग यू. So actually, this is the technique that has come from them. And really, this technique is when we paid attention to our breath. हमारे जो lungs के तीन भाग होते हैं, top, middle और lower portion. What they realized is that we are only breathing into the middle part. इसीलिए जो ऊपर का पार्ट है वहां पर ज्यादा टीबी होता है, राइट? क्योंकि वहां पे ब्रेथ पहुंच ही नहीं रही है. एंड व्हाई दिस हैपेंस, अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क हैज बीन डन. And there is a term that has called as armoring, energetic armoring. हमारे अंदर जो ट्रॉमास बचपन से, बर्थ के टाइम से और आगे भी जो होता गया है, हमारे अंदर ट्रॉमास डेवलप होते गए हैं. तो हमारी ब्रेथ एक्चुअली पूरी नहीं हो रही है ताकि अपने को बचा लें. इफ वी विल ब्रीथ फुल्ली, देन वी विल स्टार्ट ट्रिगरिंग दोज ट्रॉमास. Right? Now, this is the way of actually us being saved from triggering it. But this is also the way that we are missing out on life. Our body actually can heal itself, but वो healing capacity नहीं है because हमारे अंदर वो प्राणा ही नहीं है. We are actually not living with the full life force. We are not having our potential because we are not really having this full prana that we can have. Right? So this technique that was given by Babaji was also to release the traumas. So we can actually teach ourselves the new way of breathing. तो अभी तक आप लाइफ में जितना ट्रॉमा आपके अंदर है, you have held on to it. Your breath is not letting you fully trigger it. But in breath work, what they do is we particularly are breathing in a particular way. Now, when we are aware of our breath, so even Buddha's technique, now I'm coming back to using breath. When our awareness is coupled with the breath, normally जब हम breathe कर रहे हैं तो क्या हो रहा है? Oxygen जा रहा है. We know that. But when our awareness is coupled with it, it becomes prana. That is when it is energy. And we start becoming present to the subtle aspect. And when we actually do this technique, we are able to really flood our energy system with so much prana that the blockages start opening up. Now, this is not a very pleasant process because obviously blockages हैं तो थोड़ा बहुत दर्द होता है, इसीलिए इसको यूजुअली हम थेरेपिस्ट के साथ करते हैं, राइट? बट कहीं पे ये जो हम थोड़ी सी जो, जैसे जब हम, आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ अस मे हैव एक्सपीरियंस्ड प्राणायाम, राइट? द बेनिफिट्स दैट वी एक्सपीरियंस विद प्राणायाम is because again we are flooding the energy system with the energy, with the prana, right? तो ये सारे अलग अलग तरीके हैं. But all of this is working with the breath. Now, why is it that I'm talking to you all of this is because this is what we need to start working with. हमारे जो पूरे बॉडी के सिस्टम है, बाकी डाइजेशन, कैन वी कंट्रोल, कैन वी डू एनीथिंग टू ऑल्टर एनीथिंग? नो. Kidney, can I tell my kidney, today I have to go to the mall or today I have to go on a big journey, there is no good bathrooms, can you stop, can you slow down? No, we can't. We don't have access to any other system, but we can actually access our body system deeper through the breath. This is the only way that is connected to the automatic, the autonomic nervous system, as well as consciously we can connect with it, right? So that is what we are going to do today. Any questions anybody wants to share? हम जब इवन किसी में हार्मनी बनाना चाहते हैं, बहुत बार जब हम रिलेशनशिप्स में हार्मनी बनाना चाहते हैं, है ना, तो एक बहुत सुंदर तरीका होता है, सिंपल. that you start matching your breath with the other person. When we start doing that, you will start seeing that harmony starts coming. So before we actually go into the practice today, I will share one of my experiences. So मैंने जब breathwork की workshop की 2012 में मैंने पहली बार की, फिर 2015 में की, but I understood ये birth trauma, or actually my energy had really jumped up after 2012 when I did that workshop. But in 2015, what happened is my sister delivered her first child. This was my first nephew, and I was there during the birthing process. She was just going through a very difficult time. She was like, I can't do it. मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है. And what happened is, when she was not able to do it, they pushed from the belly. उन्होंने वो force लगाया, right? They gave the child a big push. And in the process, what they realized is कि वो बच्चा बाहर तो आया, पर उसने stool pass कर दिया था. They realized कि cord था around which they had not realized. And while coming out, he passed. So this was distress. He passed motions, and a little bit had gone into his nose. Now, obviously, this created a little panic. They said that this child, of course, a little bit has gone into the nose. So, by the time, if this child has inhaled it, by the time the effects will start showing, it will be midnight. So, what we want is you rush him to the NICU. This was a small nursing home, there was no NICU here. They told me to rush the child to another hospital. एंड ये प्रोसेस में कहीं पे ऑल्दो मैंने ब्रेथवर्क सीखा था, अब क्या होता है कि द डॉक्टर इन न्यू ऑल्सो द पैनिक जस्ट टुक ओवर. मुझे बिल्कुल ध्यान नहीं आया कि यू नो माई सिस्टर वॉज इन सो मच पेन, बट जस्ट टू टेक दैट मोमेंट टू रियली फर्स्ट let the child connect with the mother and all of that, those things, the panic I think just took over. तो उन्होंने ही गाड़ी मंगाई, सिलेंडर दिया, ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर, आप ऑक्सीजन का ऐसे पकड़ के आप भागो. एंड वी जस्ट रश. सो द फादर, द ग्रैंडमदर, मतलब उसकी दादी, एंड मी, वी रश्ड विद द चाइल्ड इन द कार. And as we reached there now, the child is here, the mother is in the other hospital. She had a severe tear, so she was admitted there. And for 7 days, actually, the child was here. And then suddenly it started striking me, कि, oh my God, this child has taken so much birth trauma. ये सब जो हो गया. तो what I was doing was I started requesting them कि मुझे आप 10 मिनट के लिए अंदर दे दिया करो किसी तरह. रोज बोल बोल के आई वुड से मैं रेकी करती हूँ. उनको मैंने बोला मैं रेकी करती हूँ, मुझे बच्चे को प्लीज मिलने दो. And as I went, what I would do is I would match my breath with the child's breath. Now, how this is beneficial, जब आपने अपना birth trauma को पे work किया है, when you work with the child, it also helps. Now, one day, so on the second day, when I'm kind of just there with him, he's there in the bed, and I'm just doing that, suddenly I smell potty. And I said, oh, इसने pass कर दिया है. So, but I continued doing. I said, let me just do it. Couple of minutes I was doing it. And then I said, by the time I'll leave, I'll tell them to clean him up. And before I'm leaving, the smell has gone. So I checked him up, and there was actually no potty. So I realized that as I was breathing, that trauma, that when that motion was passed, and he had inhaled that was being released with this, right? So this is the power of the breath, friends. When we just kind of stay with it, when we just do it, we can really release all that we have been holding. तो आज जब हम मेडिटेशन करेंगे, नॉर्मली वी जस्ट पे अटेंशन टू द ब्रेथ. हम जब ऑब्वियसली कभी कभी अलग गाइडेड मेडिटेशंस करते हैं, बट व्हाट आई वांट यू टू डू इज आई वांट यू टू गिव इट अ लिटिल टेस्ट. आज जब हमने ये बात की है ना, तो थोड़ा सा हम ये जो ब्रेथ वर्क में हम करते हैं, वी कांट ऑफ कोर्स हियर गो विद द होल थिंग, बट जस्ट पहले 5 मिनट, आर यू ओके? इफ यू फील दैट यू आर रेडी, व्हाट वी विल डू इज दैट हम थोड़ा जानबूझ के फुल चेस्ट ब्रीदिंग करेंगे और कंटिन्यूस ब्रीदिंग करेंगे. So what we are doing is we are allowing our energy channels to be flooded with this prana. तो 5 मिनट, फर्स्ट 5 मिनट्स जस्ट कंटिन्यूस ब्रीथ कीजिएगा. जैसे अभी अगर आप अपनी ब्रेथ को देखते हैं, देर इज इन ब्रेथ और आउट ब्रेथ के बीच में गैप होता है, आउट ब्रेथ और इन ब्रेथ के बीच में गैप होता है, तो हम गैप नहीं रखेंगे। और जानबूझ के बस अपने जैसे पूरी आप ब्रेथ ले रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो नॉर्मली हम बोलते हैं कि जब आप मेडिटेशन कर रहे हो अपने नेचुरल ब्रेथ को देखो। तो पहले 5 मिनट, और अगर आपको लगे एक पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट के बाद आई एम नॉट कंफर्टेबल, यू कैन कम बैक टू योर नेचुरल ब्रीथिंग, but just keep watching the breath. Okay, the first 5 minutes we will go with full breathing, and then we will go with the natural breath. Okay, any questions, any doubts, friends? Good evening, friends. A lot of us have joined later. Yes, खुशबू, खुशबू आप करोगे, slowly ही करोगे, ठीक है, बिल्कुल slowly। कोई भी फास्ट नहीं करेगा फ्रेंड्स, ठीक है, बिल्कुल जैसे नेचुरल रिदम में। We can close our eyes, we can settle down. As you close your eyes, just bring your attention to your breath and just allow yourself to be reminded that our breath is the bridge between the body, mind, and the soul. The breath knows what we need, what our body needs, and what is no longer serving our body. So you are surrendering now your mind to your breath. Completely aware of the breath. Allow yourself to start breathing continuously. Just for a few minutes, let there be no gap between your in breaths and out breaths. Just for a few minutes, allow yourself to practice full chest breathing. To change anything in our life, breath is the key. Our breath is the one that is connected to the soul. Breath is the master. Just surrender to your breath. Your breath is your anchor to this moment. Just being in the here and now with your breath. Just for another 2 minutes. Conscious, cyclic breathing, continuous breathing. And practice full chest breathing. When your awareness is there with your breath, it becomes prana. You may feel the pranic energy bathing you, your entire body. Just for another 1 minute. Continue practicing full chest breathing. And now you can just come back to your natural rhythm of the breath. Relaxed breath. But maintain the same awareness, deep presence of your breath. This awareness is the key. Anapanasati. Ana means incoming breath. Apana means outgoing breath. And sati means becoming one with it. Nothing else to do. Just become one with your breath. This is the simplest technique. It just keeps taking you deeper and deeper. Rooted in this moment with your breath. And total awareness. Awareness of what is. Just watching what is. watching the subtle sensations in the body. Anapanasati moves to the next step, Vipassana, seeing, watching. When you start becoming totally present, watching the body sensations, that is Kayanupassana. You become present to the most subtle sensations in your body. Become present to the most subtle feelings arising within you. And that is Vedanupassana. All you're doing is becoming deeper and deeper, having deeper and deeper levels of awareness, presence, watching what is. Allow your breath to take you deeper into the silence, into the emptiness, into the expansiveness. Sitting silently, doing nothing. Spring comes, and the grass grows by itself. This is a Zen quote. Just as we learn to do this, having deeper levels of presence, going into this silence, we naturally start growing. Our life starts changing. Allow yourself to linger there in this silence. The silence within is full of answers. The emptiness within is full of potential. Just another 3 minutes. Be there. Last 2 minutes. Last 1 minute. Allow yourself to gather any insights that you may have received in this silence. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Slowly rub your palms together, cover your eyes. Very slowly come back. Welcome back, friends. Welcome. Anybody wants to share any experience? Yes, Anushka, please. You can unmute yourself, Anushka.
So it is not an experience, but yeah, I want to ask you a question. Like I have a 11-month-old baby, but मेरा भी जब सी सेक्शन डिलीवरी हुआ था मेरे बेबी को 4 डेज के लिए एनआईसीयू में रख दिया था और अब फिर मेरे को when he was 3 months old I had to come to office and join the office. So whenever every night he has this separation anxiety. So he cries a lot and he wants a lot of feeds in the night. So can you please suggest me how can I work with my baby on this?
Wonderful. So, Anushka, how was your birthing?
It was C-section delivery after the 14 hours of labor.
नहीं, जब आप
मेरा
डिलीवर हुए थे,
C-section, C-section.
आप भी सी सेक्शन थे। तो एक्चुअली हमारा जो बर्थ ट्रॉमा होता है ना, that gets activated when
Okay.
we are delivering. Okay.
Mm.
Now, what you need to do is you need to work on your uh, birth trauma.
Okay.
So you can actually take, so where do you stay?
I stay in Delhi.
You stay in Delhi. So if you can either attend the workshop, okay,
Okay.
or if you can take 10 sessions with a therapist. When
Okay.
you release the birth trauma,
Okay.
automatically you will release that. तो जैसे मैंने अपनी सिस्टर का बताया, तो my mother had very difficult labor with her. She was the fifth child that she was delivering, but very prolonged labor, and she was like, this is just not happening. It's बहुत ज़्यादा time लगा. And that same thing, that difficulty कि मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है, is what got triggered for her also. तो
Okay.
जो आपके उसमें beliefs होंगे, so once you release it, like automatically your energy has passed on. Now
Okay.
you change, you work on your energy, that will automatically start changing him. In the meanwhile, what you can do is, as he starts going to sleep, you start doing sleep talking with him. Okay, मतलब आप उसको बोलने लगो that I'm sorry that you had to be separated from me. I know it was a little painful, the whole thing, the way it happened, but now I'm there. Okay,
I
तो वो
usually
आप
tell
जब
him,
उसको,
but not in this way. That I'm
yeah,
always there. I'll always be there for you. So I
yes.
keep telling
So
him. Some
so
nights are good, but
acknowledge
some
that.
are
तो ये जो जहाँ पे ट्रॉमा हुआ ना, वो अक्नॉलेज करना इम्पोर्टेंट है. सो आई एम सॉरी दैट यू हैड टू गो थ्रू दिस, बट नाउ इट्स ओवर एंड आई विल ऑलवेज बी देयर फॉर यू. तो एक लेवल पे वो हेल्प करने लगेगा. दूसरा और डीपर हेल्प करेगा व्हेन यू विल वर्क एंड यू विल रिलीज योर दिस ट्रॉमा, बर्थ ट्रॉमा.
okay. Great. Thank you so much.
वेलकम अनुष्का, ऑल द बेस्ट.
Thanks a lot.
यस दिविशा. asked to
Okay.
unmute. हाँ, okay, sorry. हाँ,
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Before this day, whenever I was doing breath work, usually was doing it with some kind of motive, and it was usually fast. But this time, when I noticed, it was very different experience, and it was very amazing. I could go deeper and very fast with the slow breath, and there were many memories that were triggered, and one was very surprising and very profound memory that was triggered. It was not a memory, but I saw my father who passed away when I was 21 years old. And before he passed away, 2 years before that, he went through an accident, and it was a best BST accident. The bus hit him, he fell down, he was admitted, he lost his memory for few days, and then when he came back, he was totally different person and all. So today, now in meditation, I saw a very huge red bus coming at me, and I was like shook, and I was like thinking, okay, I just saw that and bus, why this is coming? And it came to me that the way maybe dad saw the bus coming, I saw it that way. It was very scary, and I never thought that how dad might have gone through that accident and everything. I never thought it that way, but it came to me. I don't know what was that. It was very big, profound.
It's beautiful that you actually saw that, Divisha.
Mm.
That somewhere shows that that unresolved energy, somewhere you are kind of carrying it. Many times the loyalty that we carry towards our parents, right?
Right,
The unresolved trauma we carry.
right,
So just through breath work, also you can just release it. So one is, I've
right.
found that I see how painful it would be, right? But I allow this to kind of live with you.
Got it.
Hmm?
I'll definitely work with slow breath work, which was, even more amazing
Yes.
today. Yeah, I will definitely try that. Thank you very much.
Most welcome, Divisha. All the best. Thank you, friends. I'm assuming there's nobody else who feels like sharing. And we will see you soon again. Every month, usually we do it towards the last Saturday. Sometimes when last Saturday we have a workshop or something, then it's the third Saturday. And see you soon. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Namaste. All the very best.